My name is Richard Barham. I'm a research scientist at the National Physical Laboratory, and this is one of our acoustic test chambers where we perform measurements on a range of different devices to characterise their acoustic performance. The wedges on the wall are designed to absorb the sound coming from a sound source placed in the room. They're made of fiberglass, the same kind of material that you would line your loft with to keep heat in. And they're formed into this special shape so that any sound wave reaching the wedge will be partially reflected still, even though they're very good sound absorbers, and the shape of the wedge encourages that reflection to be drawn further into the wall rather than back into the room. The kind of thing we're trying to do here is standardise the acoustic environment to make measurements on things under controlled conditions. The sound of a hemi-anechoic room is very different to the sounds we're used to perceiving, for two reasons in fact. One is because we've got an absence of echoes in this room, which is very unusual. There's very few circumstances where you experience that kind of thing. And because your brain is so clever in processing sounds, it gets a little bit confused when we don't have echoing information coming back to enhance the sound we're hearing. So I have here an old-fashioned toy that makes a popping noise, and if I set it off, you can see the sound died away very quickly. Sounds a little bit more dead than we're used to hearing it. We get requests from industry for all kinds of things. The biscuit analysis was quite unusual and made quite a lot of mess in the chamber. There are people that make machines for checking the freshness of food. They basically break the food or plunge the food and either measure forces created as that happens, or in this instance they use an acoustic channel to listen to the biscuit as it breaks. And using the information contained in that acoustic emission, they can decide if the biscuit is fresh or estimate its shelf life and things like this. And there seems to be a very strong correlation between the sounds these products make and the way they're consumed and the pleasure we get from consuming those. So this room is designed to produce no echoes as far as possible, and we have another room that's at the opposite end of the extreme where we try and create as many echoes as possible, and we're going to go along to that room now. So we're now in the reverberation chamber, and no doubt you can hear the very big difference between this environment and the one we were in previously. And I'll just let off the pop gun once again. And that's just about diminished. So again, very different to what we're used to hearing. We don't often come across environments like this, but a large cathedral will have this kind of characteristic. The purpose of having this kind of room is again to create a standardised test environment, this time known as a diffuse field. And in complete contrast to the free field, in a diffuse field we try and create as many reflections as possible. The purpose of this is to make sure that the sound arriving at a point comes from all angles equally. The room itself is a very unusual shape. It has 5 sides rather than 4, and none of the surfaces are in fact parallel. Even the ceiling is not parallel to the floor area. And to increase the amount of diffusion further, we have panels hanging within the room which are simply designed to create more reflecting surfaces for the sounds to diffuse from.